It is time once again for y'all's favorite hour of the week. It is the Tan and J Man Show live on the ISC Sports Network. I'm the J Man. Sitting next to me is the Tan Man Tanner. How you doing tonight there, T-Dog?
Pretty good, Jay, man. Pretty good. It's we are in the middle of October.
Hard to believe.
2023 is winding down.
I was just looking at college football. I'm like, there's only 5 games left.
Yeah.
Where
yeah,
did that go?
we are over the halfway point now.
Yeah.
Or I guess we have been over the last week would have been over the halfway point for most teams. So I think we can definitely start getting that conversation of pretenders and contenders.
Absolutely.
Because if we don't know them by now, we're gonna get fooled, I guess.
Yeah.
So, but no, doing good. You're not a soup guy, are you?
I hate soup.
You're not a soup guy. Yeah. Well, you're missing out, man. It's soup season's definitely here.
It is.
It's here year round for me, but it is definitely here, especially at the place that you're gonna be doing an ad read here in a little bit for.
Flavored water, not my thing.
Flavored water. Never heard it described as that, but all right. Each their own.
Yeah.
To each their own. But I brought some birdie or bogey trivia with me tonight, like we always do, one of us. You are 4 strokes up now since I am awful, and I missed the question last week. Pretty straightforward question for you. In the history of the NFL, who has thrown the most 3 interception games?
Oh, that's a good question.
3 or more, I should say, but at least 3. Yeah.
The most 3 or more interception games in NFL history.
Mm-hmm.
One guy pops into mind immediately.
I bet I know who that guy is too.
Which tells me it's not him.
Could be.
Or you're throwing me off. You're doing what you always accuse me of doing. But Birdie Bogey is brought to you by Arlington Public House. Arlington Public House has upscale cuisine and cocktails with a casual atmosphere located in Rochester, Indiana. Over the weekend, they had spicy lobster penne, seasoned penne pasta topped with a house-made lobster marinara with just a touch of heat, butter poached lobster claws, and lemon zest with fresh basil, served with garlic toast.
Yeah, I was mad I missed that one. I hope they have that again because that sounds right up my alley. But I like seafood, especially lobster.
Yeah, and you like pasta quite a bit.
Love myself some pasta, so that's right up my alley right there.
But as always, on Monday nights, $2 whole smoked wings and $1 off domestic brewskis at Arlington Public House, located 703 Main Street in Rochester, Indiana.
Yes, sir. Well, baseball is still going on. We know the conference championship series now. It's definitely not what I predicted.
Yeah. Diamondbacks destroyed the LA Dodgers. And you start looking at the Dodgers, maybe it's time to do a little bit of a shakeup there. They've had this unbelievable run of success the past 10 years or so. One World Series, and that World Series happened during the 60-game COVID year. So there's no guarantee they would have won it in a normal season. But they're done. Braves, after having the greatest offense ever, goes completely quiet against the Philadelphia Phillies, and I have not heard them stop whining about the playoff format. This long layoff is the reason why they lost, all of that. Well, you look at it back previously, before they did the 7-team playoffs, the division winners would have to wait 5 days anyway, for the most part. You look at it, but I always bring it back to 2016 with the Cubs. Cubs played Sunday. Then they had to wait until Friday night at like 9 o'clock Eastern time for their first playoff game against the Giants, and they ended up winning that game. So it's just an excuse as to why they didn't get it done. But the Phillies are absolutely on fire, as are the Texas Rangers, who are currently up on the Houston Astros. 1-0, and they're up tonight already 5-2 in the 6th inning last time I checked, right before the show. So they have a chance to steal the first 2 there in Houston, which would be huge. The Astros have been to 7 straight league championship series, which that actually brings me to my word association here already, knocking it out early. The last time the Astros were not in the league championship series was 2016. So I took 3 players from each of the 4 teams that were in it in 2016. And just first thought that pops into your mind, starting with the Cubs with Ben Zobrist.
MVP or the team MVP, I would say, around that World Series championship team. Without him, they don't get it done. That's when I think of Ben Zobrist. I'm going to think of him as a Cub. He played for other teams longer, but I don't think he was more vital to any team than that Cubs team.
Yeah, obviously, he won the World Series MVP. Played everywhere. He played every single position with the Cubs except catcher, I believe. And in fact, his final career game, he struck out Yadier Molina on the mound.
I was going to say he pitched a game.
David Ross.
Jury's still out for him as far as the manager is concerned, but another big part of that World Series team. He just kind of fit in perfectly with that roster. Big year for him next year, I would say, as the manager of the Cubs.
Yeah, he is on the hottest of seats, I would say, heading into next year. Christopher Bryant.
Kind of what could have been if he stayed healthy. I mean, still in the league, playing for the Colorado Rockies, but he just gets hurt so much year in, year out, and just hadn't been the same ever since he got hit in the face with the ball.
His best 3 years of his career were his first 3 years of his career.
Yeah.
And I'll even take it further than that. I mean, he kind of recovered from getting hit in the face. He had a pretty good year that year, but he slid head first into first base, messed up his shoulder, and I don't think he's been the same definitely since then. I'm sure psychologically getting hit in the face.
Sure.
But
sure.
For whatever reason, he has to not be banged up at all. Can't have a bump or bruise on him, or that swing's just not going to work. I've never seen a player like that.
He's cashing in the checks, though, now, so good for him.
He got paid. The LA Dodgers, Adrian Gonzalez.
Oh, man. I haven't thought about him for a while, but pretty solid player wherever he was. I think of him as a Red Sox right away.
Really?
Yeah, I do, just because, I don't know, I guess being a Yankee fan. But, no, he's pretty solid everywhere he went.
Yeah. He was with the Padres and Dodgers the longest. I think of him more as a Padre because he was a Cub killer. He just opposite field home run. There was a series that felt like he had 10 homers against the Cubs back in like 2009, 2010, something like that. Clayton Kershaw.
Oh, one of the best pitchers of all time till it gets into the postseason.
Yeah.
We talked about it last week. I don't know. It's just it's got to be all between the ears, but hey, that's a big part of sports.
Yeah,
so
absolutely. Corey Seager.
Another solid piece of those Dodger teams. And it's interesting when we talk about the Dodgers. Yes, they've had a great run, but yet only one World Series out of all that. So,
yeah, Seager, if it were not for Shohei Ohtani, which I think Seager has a chance to actually win the MVP in the American League. If it were not for Shohei Ohtani, I think Seager would be the unanimous MVP there in the American League this year. Moving on to the, at the time, Cleveland Indians, now the Cleveland Guardians, Francisco Lindor.
Yeah, fun name to say. Another guy that's been solid at different places. But, man, this is going to be tricky because I don't even know if I can name you 3 Indians from 2016. So
it was tough. I chose 3 guys I thought you would be able to name. The second guy here, Corey Kluber.
Oh, yeah, Kluber was dominant at his position for a pitcher. Where's he at now?
He had a horrendous year with the Red Sox, and I bet he's probably done. He's probably 35, 36 now.
Yeah, I know he bounced around a little bit, so I wasn't sure where he was now. But, yeah, he was at the time, he was arguably the best in the game.
Last one here, Andrew Miller.
He was a good Yankee for a while.
Very good.
Middle reliever, and then setup man, I should say. And then, became an Indian, was good there. And is he still in the league?
I don't think so. He was with the Cardinals last I knew, but I don't think he was there.
He had about a 4-year stretch there. He was really, really good.
Yeah, dominant. I could have put Rajai Davis but
I just would have said the home run. So
too painful. Toronto Blue Jays here. You will know all 3 of these guys. Russell Martin,
Yankee. He was Indian, I think, at one time. He was a Pirate. Blue Jay, of course. He played forever. But sneaky powerful once in a while.
Yeah. Troy Tulowitzki.
Oh, Tulo. Another guy who got hurt all the time.
Yeah.
But He was part of some winning Rocky teams. Not too many Rockies can say
Yeah.
that. So
Big Dolphins fan too,
yes,
even though he grew up in California, which I grew up in Indiana. So what can I
yeah.
say? Last one here for word association: Jose Bautista.
Oh, Joey Bats, either the bat flip or the punch. Either one.
Yeah, he was pretty. He was pretty notable.
Yeah.
Yeah, the bat flip led to the punch, so they're kind of connected.
But man, for a couple of years, he was one of the studs in baseball.
Yeah,
For a couple of years there, and I think he still follows me on Twitter. He did one of those things. He followed everybody.
yeah.
But for a while, I was like, I think he's my most famous Twitter follower. He probably still is. I don't know. I haven't checked on that in a while.
If he's still on Twitter.
Yeah, if he's still well. Let's be honest, he wasn't managing his own Twitter in the first place, but that's okay.
A good point. Sam Madison, who was a former Miami Dolphin defensive back, he followed me on Twitter for the longest time. I haven't been on there recently, but he is the Dolphins defensive backs coach, and I ripped them quite a bit last year. I imagine he no longer follows me if he were to follow me. But
yeah.
Good stuff.
Good stuff. That's a good list, J-Man. Good list. And that's the word association segment, which is brought to you by Like It Is Every Week, Performer Print 2 promo group. We're getting towards that end of the year, like we said. So if you're looking for a trustworthy, dependable resource, trade show for a okay, let me start. Trustworthy, dependable resource for your next trade show, company picnic, or a sales meeting at the end of the year in 2023 or in 2024. Performer Print 2 promo group has over 50 years combined experience in promotional products and commercial print. They strive for fast and efficient response to all your print needs. You need to look no further. Let them be your one-source print and promotional company today by giving Barbara Van Weinsberg a call at 574-210-3815. So they do anything from pens and pencils to display tints, anything you want for a display, any promotional item pretty much. I mean, it kind of speaks for itself. So get on their website or give Barbara a call and check out what they got.
Who you got in these series?
Rangers, because I don't want the Astros to win.
And if the Rangers can hold on, they're up 5-3 in the seventh. They'll go up 2-0 already. So it'll be
and I'm gonna take the Phillies.
Yeah. This will be the J-Man's book of prediction of the week. Knocking these segments out early, or knocking these sponsor reads out early. I think it will be. I mean, the Rangers have not lost in postseason. They have a 6-game win streak already in the postseason.
It's just amazing with the statistic you shared before the postseason that like they're how bad their relief was.
Yeah, it's crazy. We almost had an Aroldis Chapman in Houston sort of moment last night. He gave up he walked a guy and then gave up a bomb that was literally just right of the Crawford boxes, and it was caught at the wall,
gosh,
or it would have been a tie game. So we almost had another Aroldis in Houston moment. But give me the Rangers and then Phillies. I agree. Rangers have not won a World Series ever. And they haven't been since the David Freese 2011 thing. And the Phillies obviously went last year, and they have not won since 2008. But they are playing some very good baseball as well with Harper and Castellanos, who had 4 homers over the final 2 games. But
I can't believe he's the first person in MLB history to hit multi-home runs back-to-back playoff games. I mean, just for how long baseball's been around, that's incredible.
That was the first time he'd ever done it in his career. So to do it in that on that stage is pretty incredible. J-Man's Book of Prediction of the Week brought to you by Indiana Farm Bureau Insurance Agent Travis Watchering for life, home, auto, business, renters, workers' comp, and farm insurance. Contact Travis at 219-869-4561. His email is travis.watchering@infb.com.
Well, you want to just knock out another sponsor read and do the On This Day segment before we get into talking about a bunch of football? I'm just pulling this up for the first time. So let's talk about sporting events that have happened on October 16th. A lot of old World Series stuff. A lot of boxing stuff. Come on, give me a good one here.
Did you tune into any of the, was it Jake Paul or Logan Paul fight over the...
That was Logan Paul.
Was it Logan?
The part-time WWE superstar. Yeah, and I've never seen this. For one, I did not tune in, but I heard it was an awful fight. I heard he demolished the guy, and the guy pretty much stood there with his hands in front of his face the whole time. But after the fight, he because he's going back to the WWE now for a little bit because they got a big show coming up in November. He calls out a wrestler and challenges him for a title. I've never seen an actual combat sport call out somebody for a work sport. I've never seen such thing, but hey, well, he probably would get some viewers that way. So
famous YouTubers turn professional boxers.
Their competitions are nothing, but he is a freak athlete in the WWE ring, though. I'll give him that. He is very athletic. So on this day in 1962, the Yankees won their 20th championship, beating the San Francisco Giants 1-0 at Candlestick Park for 4-3 series victory. Who was the MVP for the Yankees?
62. Was that Mickey Mantle?
Ralph Terry.
Never heard
Pitcher Ralph Terry. Well, you started kind of with an R. I was like, oh my gosh, he's going to get this.
I almost said Roger Maris, but
okay. On this day, 1968, Americans Tommy Smith and John Carlos famously give the Black Power salute on the 200-meter medal podium during the Mexico City Olympics to protest racism and injustice against African Americans. That's got to be one of the more powerful images throughout sports history, right?
Yeah, I would say.
Those guys in the 68 Olympics. On this day, 1968, as well, the Milwaukee Bucks played their first game. They lost to the Bulls 89-84. Also on this day, 1969, the 100-1 shot New York Mets beat the Baltimore Orioles 5-3 at Shea Stadium for an upset 4-1 series win.
Did you know the Cubs had a 9-game lead entering September, and that black cat ran across the field? And
I did.
Yeah.
I did.
Hard to believe. Santo, Billy Williams, and Ernie Banks did not play in the postseason at all together.
On this day in 1985, who won the American League Championship Series and the National League Championship Series?
85.
Both won on the same day.
That was a year before the Red Sox Mets. Was that Royals Cardinals?
It was Royals Cardinals. Royals beat the Blue Jays 4-3. Cardinals beat the Dodgers 4-2.
Yeah, it was that World Series ended up being one of the more infamous blown calls there at first base that I believe it helped the Royals out because Royals won that series, I think.
Hey, Mike Tyson in the news actually for something
really
not negative. He won a fight in 1987.
You sure it wasn't against his girlfriend or something?
Yeah, I actually am, but it's so long I'm not going to read it. But on this day, 1988, Orel Hershiser became the first to pitch a shutout in the playoffs and World Series.
Yeah, he was a bulldog.
I had his autograph somewhere years ago. I saw him at a Tampa Bay, at that time, Devil Rays Rangers spring training game. He was in the front office for one of those teams. I think the Rangers. And my dad who knew he was, I didn't. I was like in 5th grade. So I got his autograph. I got his autograph and Toby Hall. Remember him? The catcher for the Devil Rays?
I remember going to a Devil Rays game back in Tropicana Field there in about 2006, and Toby Hall hit a homer. I remember.
Probably one of his 50 career home runs.
It was Tampa Bay Rays, Devil Rays versus the Kansas City Royals. It was buy a ticket, get one free. I've never seen a sporting event ever advertise that. There four of us got in for, I think, $28.
Miami, Florida did a few weeks ago.
Yeah, no one shows up to the U.
They did a buy one, get one free. They were a ranked football team.
They need to build their own stadium is what they need to do. That's crazy. That's embarrassing. Yeah. My Canes.
On this day in 2000, who won the National League Championship?
New York Mets.
Mets beat the Cardinals 4-1. On this day in 2003, who won the American League Championship?
New York Yankees.
Yankees beat the Red Sox 4-3. On this day in 2005, who won the American League Championship?
Chicago White Sox.
White Sox beat the Angels 4-1. A few more here. On this day in 2011, who won the National League?
St. Louis Cardinals.
Cardinals beat the Brewers 4-2. I could not have told you the Brewers were there.
That was my hell.
On this day in 2014, who won the National League Championship?
That'd be the Giants, even year.
Giants over the Cardinals 4-1. Here's an impressive one. On this day in 2016, Ed Whitlock, 85, became the oldest person to compete a marathon under 4 hours. at the Toronto Waterfront Marathon. He completed it in 3 hours and 56 minutes.
The Chicago Marathon was last weekend, like October 8th, and I would probably just be finishing up right about now.
Yeah, there's no I couldn't even I couldn't run anything now. Nothing.
I couldn't even walk it. 26 miles, you kidding me?
You could. This might take you a little while.
Yeah, as I'm saying, it'd take me a week.
That is the On This Day segment brought to you by Mooney Woodcrafts. Mooney Woodcrafts is a veteran owned and operated. I cannot talk or read tonight. Mooney Woodcrafts is a veteran owned and operated woodcraft shop based out of Texas with Indiana grassroots. They provide 100% hand-cut custom designs that fit your needs, and their pieces are a great addition to any home, office, or man cave. You can see some of their recently completed projects by visiting them on Instagram or Facebook at Mooney Woodcrafts is their handle on those. And if you let them know the Tan and J-Man show sent you, you get 15% off your order. So, like I said last week, it's not too early to start thinking about Christmas. Christmas is almost just 2 months away. So it'd make that perfect present for the sports fan in your family. So get those signed orders in.
What football you want to talk?
Let's talk NFL this week first.
Right.
I feel like we always do college first. Let's do National Football League first this week.
3 winners, 3 losers. I think I start with the winners.
Yes,
you start with
you
the
do.
losers.
Yep.
My first winner, the New York Jets.
Jets, Jets, man.
The undefeateds are done already in week 6, which is
that
crazy.
didn't take long.
That was one of the more unlikely upsets I can remember, and it was mainly helped. I mean, Robert Saleh is a heck of a defensive coach, and his defenses are good. But that was especially bad performance by Jalen Hurts yesterday.
Yeah, it wasn't his best.
3 interceptions. They were -4 on the turnovers as a team. All they really had to do, I mean, if they get a first down, they win. If it's an incompletion, you think Zach Wilson's going to get them in field goal range? Probably not.
Probably not.
So all you had to do was not throw an interception. You threw it to a Illini, Tony Adams, ran it back to about the 8 or so. Heck of a win. Aaron Rodgers starting to throw already. I'm very skeptical he'll be back by the end of the year. Yeah. But who knows?
I wouldn't push it if I were him. You try to do that and you come back too early, you blow it out, you're done for your career.
Especially at 39 years old, 40 years old, whatever he is too.
But I got to give them props. They're 3-3. They're hanging tough. They take on the identity of their coach. They're not winning by their offense, but they're winning by their tough-nosed defense.
They do have a good running game. Mm-hmm. And as long as Wilson doesn't go out there and hurt them, they have a chance.
Yeah.
The defense will keep them. I mean, you look at the quarterbacks they've shut down. They've shut down Mahomes. For the most part, shut down Josh Allen, now Jalen Hurts. Yeah,
I was gonna say Russell Wilson doesn't deserve to be in that conversation, so I was
glad you wasn't gonna put him in there.
I was glad you didn't mention him. Yeah. One of my winners, Cleveland Browns.
Yep.
They beat what, in my opinion, still, I know they had some injuries yesterday. In my opinion, still is the best team in football, San Francisco 49ers. I mean, it was thanks to a missed kick by Mooney of the.
You know who doesn't miss that kick? Robbie Gould.
He doesn't.
Who's sitting on the couch?
Yeah, kid is a rookie. It was his first career miss in the NFL. I bet he makes it next time.
He missed a field goal earlier in that game.
Oh, he did? Oh, I did not know that.
It was a 55-yarder.
Okay. But he was nails up Michigan, high draft pick.
Yeah.
I think he'll still be pretty good. But, banged. They got banged up Chris McCaffrey, who's I think right now would be the MVP of the league.
Nah.
All right. You're probably right, but he is pretty incredible. And then Deebo Samuel. Yeah, my MVP comment was probably.
I'm talking Raheem Mostert if I'm talking.
I forgot about your Dolphins, but. But yeah, good win for the Browns. Another team that's 3-3. I mean, are they 3-2? I think they're 3-2.
3-2. They've already
and then they got the Colts this week. So without Deshaun Watson, getting it done.
That might be for the best.
Mm-hmm.
As far as the Browns go, Brock Purdy played the worst game of his career so far. It's first loss.
The week I started my fantasy, but I still won my matchup. So.
He was bad, and I know they had injuries, but again, the Browns were without Watson. They're without Nick Chubb.
They got a good defense.
Oh man, that defense is great.
Jim Schwartz is going to get some head coach calls. Our buddy Evan Webb's favorite coach.
He wasn't a bad head coach with the Lions.
No, he wasn't. So,
but great defensive mind. Miles Garrett's a
oh my gosh.
Yeah, that's good for the Browns.
Yeah, they and I like those all white uniforms. I thought those were slick looking yesterday.
Sharp. Detroit Lions going into Tampa and taking care of business. Jared Goff, unbelievable year so far, and he's been great.
He had a good year last year.
Yeah,
I mean,
week 9 last year.
That trade worked out for both sides.
Yeah. It did. I mean, Rams got their Super Bowl, and now Goff's got the Lions and
playing good football. I mean,
football,
yeah.
But their offensive coordinator Ben Johnson should be the Bears' #1 priority for head coach.
Yep, he got interviewed by the Colts, I believe.
Did he?
They interviewed the whole league. Remember?
That's right.
It took them 2 months to get their search done.
Yeah,
but I'm going to go with the Houston Texans winning at home against New Orleans Saints, and they are a surprise what DeMeco Ryans, first-year head coach, is doing with a rookie quarterback leading this team. That we were saying, this team's going 2 to 3 games at the most. Well, they're already there. Pretty impressive. They're ahead of schedule right now.
Yeah, it's incredible what he's doing with that roster. That defense, he knew DeMeco Ryans would have a good defense. He did in San Fran. But C.J. Stroud, he did throw his first career interception, but man, he's looking like the guy who should have been the #1 overall pick, which reports out of Carolina or Frank Reich wanted him real bad, but the owner did not. So.
Yeah, and Frank Reich coming out to say that, you might get yourself fired pretty quick there if you're not careful.
He's not the one that said it, but it's getting ugly there. He's already given up play calling duties.
Yeah,
Carolina. But,
Your next winner?
Went Houston Texans.
Yep.
Washington Commanders. I'll throw them in there. Good road win. That's Desmond Ritter's first career home loss ever.
That's crazy, isn't it?
College, NFL. Yeah, he's bad. He's not good. Because I think that roster is pretty good there, too.
Yeah, if I'm the Falcons, I'm picking up my phone. I know they said they're not going to get rid of him, but I would call Minnesota, see if Kirk Cousins is available. If Chicago wants to move on from Fields, I would call Chicago at the end of the year. Because I think they're a quarterback away. And that would make some sense. Fields is from Georgia. Maybe that makes sense there.
And then, man, you add Fields or like a Lamar Jackson, too, if they were to have traded for him last year. To Bijan Robinson, Tyler Algier, man, they'd be 300 yards rushing a game. Impressive.
My last winner, I'm going to go with the Cincinnati Bengals. Seems like they're kind of starting to roll into form a little bit now. Burrow's starting to play better. I mean, wasn't the prettiest of wins, but that's a decent Seahawks team. They beat yesterday. They're starting to get back on pace in a division that I still think is theirs to lose.
I agree with you. Yeah, I don't think that's a great division by any stretch.
Baltimore's okay, but
yeah, they're fine.
I don't see the Browns keeping this up, and Steelers, I think, are the worst team in that division. So
I agree with you. Yeah, I agree with you.
Did you do 3 already?
Yeah, I did 3.
Yeah, you left. Okay. So losers. 2 of them are kind of obvious, but I'll let you take one of those if you want. So I'm going to start with the Tampa Bay Buccaneers, and just because it helped lose me our pick'em, and then I'm in a fantasy pick'em as well, and I was winning going into that game, and I was the only person to pick the Buccaneers, and everybody else picked the Lions, and I got passed pretty quickly. So I don't know. I just thought big home game wearing the creamsicles, which I still love those uniforms.
They're pretty sharp.
And they just couldn't get it done. They couldn't even really get close. Every time they got within a score, then the Lions came back and punched them in the mouth. So
I think the the NFC South's the worst division in football.
Yeah, we've said that a lot over the years.
Yeah, which brings me to my first loser, the New Orleans Saints.
Yeah.
The New Orleans Saints are Derek Carr. Mediocre, 500. He's never going to get you too far. He'll get you in contention, but you can't lose. I know Houston's better, but if you really wanted to be serious about winning that division, which they still could because that division's bad, you can't lose to a Houston Texan team.
And I've always liked Derek Carr. It was just on the down low for many years since he was a Raider, and I wasn't going to admit I like a Raider quarterback especially. But I really keep waiting for him to take the Saints, just take control, win them games. And you're right, it's just not happening. It's just not happening.
He's 32 years old. He is who he is. I don't think
I don't think Jameis is going to make it happen either. So, Yep. Another one of my losers, the New England Patriots. I think they are the worst team in the NFL.
Really?
I just don't think they're good. Oh, Panthers, yeah, okay, maybe the Panthers. They are the only winless team, but Patriots quarterback play is not good. That defense isn't very good anymore. I would not be shocked if this is Bills last year.
Yeah, Teddy Bruschi even kind of said it. I think he said it today that he thinks he's probably done. Who knows? He might even hang it up mid-season.
I mean, they got Gerard Mayo. That's probably he could be their next coach.
Yeah. Yeah, their offense is putrid. Mac Jones taking a safety instead of just throwing it up for grabs at the end when they were losing.
Mm-hmm.
Just give some, just launch it. If it gets picked off, who cares? You lose anyway.
And it might get a defense pass interference.
You might get that guy. Might go. I mean, Devontae Parker's a pretty good jump ball guy. He had a bad drop on that.
He did. Play. That was a good ball by Mac.
Yeah,
we'll give him that.
One of the few. But yeah, they're one of the worst teams in the NFL. I agree.
You hate to see it.
You just hate to see it. Tennessee Titans. They are worst case scenario. They're bad and they're also boring. Because there's some teams that are bad, but they're entertaining. Titans are terrible. They don't score touchdowns. They have a quarterback issue there. Tannehill's not.
He's banged up now.
And he's banged up. Malik Willis looked terrible. Give Will Levis a shot.
Might as well
lose at this point. Sitting there at I think they're 2-4, right?
Sounds right.
2-4, 2 games behind Jacksonville. They're still a decent defensive team. Derrick Henry's not what he once was, which there's a lot of miles on him. But yeah, Tannehill's done, in my opinion.
Yeah, it's they might as well see. I mean, they got 2 young guys behind them. Might as well see what one of them can do.
Yeah,
at least. My last loser, I will take one of the big 2, and I will take. I'll take the Eagles instead of the other one, just because I think that was the more shocking upset of the 2. And like you said, Jalen Hurts, guy that can do no wrong for so long, it seems like by the media, didn't have his best game yesterday, and they probably should have won that thing, but. They get a bounce-back opportunity against a really good Dolphin team at home in Sunday Night Football this week, so we'll see what happens.
I absolutely hate that they're coming in off a loss. I was hoping they won. Of course, I was hoping they beat the Jets, but I don't want them coming in off a loss. So that's not fun. My last loser was going to be the undefeated teams, so I'll just take the Niners.
Yeah.
Purdy looked bad. I know the conditions weren't great, and he didn't have guys to throw the ball to, but he was bad. But at the same time, he put them in a position to go down there and win the football game too. After all of that, but they couldn't get it done.
It sounded like Bosa might have got the Browns fired up in pregame warm-ups by saying some stuff he shouldn't have been saying.
Yeah, when I saw that kind of brawl, I'm like, why would you do that against the top team in football? It's just going to fire him up, and then then Trent Williams comes in, and everyone clears out because everyone's scared of Trent Williams.
Oh yeah, he got banged up yesterday.
Yeah,
I don't know the severity of his injury, but that did not look good.
He is a first ballot Hall of Famer.
Oh, he is.
He's ridiculous.
He's so valuable to any team. I mean, he is a game changer, and that's about the only offensive lineman you can say about that around the league. Yeah. His pulling ability is stupid.
Yeah. The Niners are my last loser.
Yep. This I thought was the most interesting pick'em week yet.
Yeah.
This was hard to put points on, in my opinion.
It was really difficult. I had no idea what to do as far as points for sure this week.
Like I knew my because there's only 13 points this week. I knew my 13-pointer right away. After that, I was like, I don't feel confident on putting 12 on any of these games.
Yeah. I did beat you this past week. Thanks to the Detroit Lions going into Tampa Bay. That was literally the difference.
Yep.
We both have 1-pointers tonight. You took Dallas for 1. I took the Chargers for 1. So
hope it's a good game.
But I think we're about even for the season, aren't we?
Yeah.
3-3, something like that.
Yep.
Thursday night, a decent one here. Jacksonville Jaguars at the New Orleans Saints.
Yeah, we'll see if Trevor Lawrence can go. He's got a knee sprain. If not, C.J. Beathard is the backup for Jacksonville. I picked the Jaguars hoping that Lawrence can go, and I picked the Jags for 6.
Yeah, I picked the Jags for 7. I think they're quite a bit better, and they're quietly turned into one of the best teams in the AFC.
My AFC champs.
Yeah, they're turning it on in a bad division, but
yes.
I mean, you got to play who you.
I can't believe the Colts haven't won in Jacksonville since 2013, 2014, something like that.
Have they even beat Jacksonville since then?
Yeah, they have. Not down there.
Two like third string or backup quarterbacks here in the Vegas Raiders and the Chicago Bears.
Yes, this is going to be ugly. I was surprised when Ian Rappaport said if Jimmy Garoppolo can't go, which it looks like he probably won't, that Aiden O'Connell would get started because Aiden was the emergency quarterback yesterday. So I guess Hoyer's is their official backup all the time. I don't know. But the Bears, Justin Fields, hurt thumb, doubtful probably this week. So I forget the undrafted rookie's name.
Tyson Bagent.
Yeah, from Shepherd College or something like that. Give me the Raiders for 7.
I have the Raiders for 8, so we're pretty close so far. Even with O'Connell or with Brian Hoyer, I think.
Yeah.
Shouldn't have any issue with them.
The Bears are bad and they're boring.
Yeah. Yeah, kind of like the Titans. They are significantly more interesting when Fields is in there, but if he's not in there, they are definitely bad and boring.
Yes.
Cleveland Browns at the Indianapolis Colts.
This is a toss-up game, I think. I think Colts will be favored a little bit because they're the home team, but they did not look good against Jacksonville yesterday. Gardner Minshew did not look good. Anthony Richardson might be out for the season, it sounds like. I like what the Browns did yesterday. I think that momentum carries over. I'm taking the Browns for 1.
Is Deshaun Watson playing?
I have not heard of anything about him.
I have the Browns for 4. Could absolutely see the Colts winning this one, though. It is pretty much a coin flip.
Yeah.
Buffalo Bills at the New England Patriots.
This is my 13-pointer. I'm taking the Bills for 13, even though they didn't look so hot last night. But I
looked atrocious last night. And honestly, they should have lost that game.
Well, the Giants can't score a touchdown. They're the Iowa Hawkeyes of the NFL.
Tyrod Taylor switching the play to a run play when they were out of timeouts at the end of the first half. And then Brian Daboll just screaming bloody murder at him. And then they were hurt by a non-hold call in the end zone with 0 seconds left. But the Bills are quite a bit better than the New England Patriots. Give me the Bills for 13 as well. I got an interesting stat here. You were talking about how the Giants can't score touchdowns. So Nate Tice on Twitter said, if you feel like NFL offenses are having issues in the red zone so far in 2023, you're not wrong. Offenses are currently scoring touchdowns on 53.3% of their red zone opportunities, which is the lowest rate through 6 weeks since 2011. Then in parentheses, he put, however, the Dolphins' current red zone touchdown rate of 80.8% would be the highest by a team since 2000. So I had to throw the Dolphins.
Nobody's figured out the Dolphins' red zone packages, but they're figuring out everybody else's, it sounds like.
The Giants have scored 6 touchdowns this year.
Yep.
Which the Giants as a team would be tied for 3rd on the Dolphins team as a whole. Tyreek has 6, Devon Achane has 7, and Raheem Mostert with 11 touchdowns all year. Mostert, Purdue boy, I have to throw him in there, has more touchdowns than the Bengals, Saints, Falcons, Raiders, Bucks, Jets, Titans, Patriots, Browns, Steelers, and Giants.
I hope he can stay healthy.
Me too.
That's always why I'm scared for him.
Fast. I've really enjoyed him.
Yeah, no, he works hard. He's a nice guy. I'm happy to see all the success he's having.
Yeah. Washington Commanders at the New York Giants.
Yeah, speaking of the Giants, I'm taking the Commanders for 8.
Washington's one of those teams they can win and then they can lose.
Down, up and down, up and down.
I think that if Daniel Jones, which honestly, Tyrod Taylor's just as good, if not a little better than Daniel Jones. I don't know why I'm doing this, but I'm taking the Giants for 2. Maybe it's a home game sort of deal, but Giants for 2. Atlanta Falcons at the Tampa Bay Buccaneers.
I don't know why I keep doing this. They keep burning me, but I'm taking the Buccaneers for 2.
I'm taking the Bucks for 9.
All right.
At home, Baker was bad yesterday.
He was not good.
I think the Falcons are bad too, especially at quarterback. They have a really good running game, obviously, but give me Tampa for 9. Detroit Lions at the Baltimore Ravens.
I like the Lions on the road for 5.
Yeah, interesting. I don't know why I keep doing this because they keep burning me, but give me Baltimore for 4. If it's nasty there, I mean, you have a dome team.
It's true.
I don't know. Baltimore's been thoroughly unimpressive, though, I will say.
Mm-hmm.
Baltimore for 4. Pittsburgh Steelers at the LA Rams.
I'm taking the Rams for 10.
I have the Rams for 12. Struggled there early against the Cardinals, but then annihilated them in the second
Got
half.
Cooper Kupp going, and
getting him back, adding him to Puka Nacua, and Kyron Williams has been fantastic.
They got a fun offense to watch.
Yeah, and of course Aaron Donald does Aaron Donald things, but I think Pittsburgh's bad. So Arizona Cardinals at the Seattle Seahawks.
I got the Seahawks for 11.
I have the Seahawks for 11 as well.
The Cardinals will do what they always do. They'll hang there for 3 quarters, if not halfway through the fourth, and then get beat by 10 or more points.
Yeah, honestly, it's been a pretty impressive job by Jonathan Gannon, especially after all the stuff.
Yep.
All the embarrassing videos of stuff he said, where he thought he was kind of a lame duck year one. He's held the team together quite a bit. Green Bay Packers at the Denver Broncos.
This will be a winning game. Broncos looked awful Thursday night. Offense looked awful. Defense gave them a chance for once. Packers had a bye week, so tough telling. But I'm taking Packers for 3.
I'm taking the Packers for 3 as well. I've seen enough of Denver to stop picking them because I keep picking them at home against these bad teams.
They haven't won a home game.
Maybe this is the one that finally gets them, as we're both not picking them for about the first time at home.
Maybe.
Give me the Packers for 3. The LA Chargers at the Kansas City Taylor Swifts.
Taking the Chiefs for 12.
I have the Chiefs for 10. Bronco defense played pretty well. Chiefs offense has not looked nearly as good as it has in years past.
It's kind of, I know Rice is starting to get going, the young wide receiver for them. It's kind of Kelsey and nobody else.
Yeah, and Kelsey's getting older. It's like the lowest yards per catch he's had in his career so far. He was good the other night.
He kills. He's the ultimate Bronco killer.
Yeah. Their wide receiver room is pretty bad.
They need to go get one if they can.
Have to go get one. Give me the Chiefs for 10. Sunday night, a really good one here. Miami Dolphins at the Philadelphia Eagles.
Yeah, real good matchup. I'm glad we're getting a big time matchup on Sunday night. Feels like it's been a little while. Just because they're the home team, give me the Eagles for 4.
I have the Eagles for 1. Coming off a loss, I hate that. Absolutely hate that. They've been pretty unimpressive. Maybe their loss got their wake up call. Dolphins came out sluggish against a bad team yesterday.
And down 14-0. I was surprised by that, but
down 14-0, and I was mad. But
so was Frank Fleming. If you didn't see that,
an idiot. I knew the game was probably not in doubt, even when they were down 14. They ended up outscoring them 42-7 the rest of the way. Tyreek has over 800 yards receiving already. Mostert 11 touchdowns. Tua has been sacked, I think, just 5 or 6 times so far. Much different test. Raucous environment. One of the toughest places environment-wise in the NFL. That's why I'm taking the Eagles for 1. Hopefully a close matchup because the 5 teams the Dolphins have beat are a combined 5-22. And then they got obviously whooped by the Buffalo Bills, which Josh Allen's a good quarterback. He turns the ball over a lot against every other team, but the Miami Dolphins, he destroys them, which is frustrating. This is the first time Dolphins will be facing Jalen Hurts, I think, ever. So a lot of Alabama connections here. Devontae Smith and Jalen Waddle, Tua, Hurts. Should be a good matchup. Hope they don't get blown out. Low expectations for this one, but it's nice they're 5-1 heading in. Give them a little cushion. San Francisco 49ers at the Minnesota Vikings.
Yeah, Niners probably going in a little banged up, but I still think they're the better team. Niners for 9.
I have the Niners for 6. I think Niners bounce back. I assume McCaffrey and Debo will be good to go. They get an extra day to kind of recuperate, but bye weeks this week: Cincinnati Bengals, Dallas Cowboys, Titans, Jets, Panthers, Houston Texans.
Yeah, I am Aaron Rodgers 2 completions away from being undefeated in fantasy football. All I need him to do is 2 completions.
Do you want a trophy?
I do. Hey, usually I'm like really struggling at this point. So
my team was miserably bad this week. And I've faced a guy whose team put up 128 points, which is not very good, and I'm still going to lose unless Keenan Allen goes off for like 40 points tonight. But we're all kind of clustered there together.
Yes, we are. Yes, we are.
Well, before we get into college football, College Hoops came out with the top 25 preseason poll. 3 Big Ten teams are in it. Purdue's third. Michigan State is what? Do you remember?
Fourth.
Michigan State's fourth?
Fourth.
You're joking.
No, they're fourth. These AP polls and the coaches polls, so much of them are based on what you did in March. Because Michigan State lost 15 games but made a run to the Sweet 16 or whatever it was and darn near to Elite 8. And they return everybody. So.
And they brought in, what's his name?
Booker. Xavier Booker, who might not even play that much for him this year.
And then Illinois is 25th.
Yes.
Which those are the top 3 teams in Ken Palm as well, so that makes sense. But we'll get into
Purdue was number 1 in Ken Palm, so.
That doesn't surprise me at all.
Yeah. And they were number 2 in the coaches poll. The coaches poll came out today too. So.
Yeah, we'll get our Big Ten preview here 2 weeks, I think.
It's coming up.
Yeah. When's Purdue's first exhibition?
So they have a charity exhibition next Saturday at Arkansas.
Okay.
On SEC Plus, but their first exhibition at home is against Grace College this year.
Oh, no kidding.
Yeah.
No kidding. Home of the J-Man for a year. Illinois plays Ottawa College on Friday. So it's reached the time of the year where I'm going to be paying $10 a month for that stupid BTN Plus.
Oh, it's the worst. It's the worst.
And then they also have a charity at home against Kansas.
Number 1 team in the country
next Saturday as well, and it is a sellout because Bill Self's long-awaited return.
Oh, I didn't even put that together. Wow!
And Hunter Dickinson's never beaten Illinois, so maybe he'll knock him off in a charity exhibition.
Yeah, it's crazy. These charity exhibitions, all of a sudden, the life that coming to these.
Yeah, this thing sold out in 10 minutes.
I believe
great. And it's on Big Ten Network too, so that helps. But that we'll get college hoops. Obviously, I'm not. Neither of us are going to be into college. I will be into college hoops once it starts. But right now it's hard to even wrap my brain around Illinois playing on Friday. So
yeah.
But Big Ten, a lot of blowouts this week.
Yeah.
Couple good games. Rutgers coming back from 24-6 down.
Yeah, I thought Michigan State might have found something with a new quarterback, and then Rutgers. I didn't watch any of it, but I was watching the score, and then Rutgers came back and got them, and now they're 5-2 with a chance to become bowl eligible with a win in Bloomington this week. So good for Greg Schiano there, and they need this one because their schedule gets very hard. After the Indiana game, they finished the last few weeks very hard, but Ohio State obliterated Purdue. Purdue was never really in it, which is disappointing. I thought Purdue could at least be competitive, but no. Marvin Harrison Jr. might be the best wide receiver I've ever seen in Ross-Ade Stadium. He didn't have an unbelievable day. I mean, he had two touchdowns and 100 yards, but just the way he runs routes and how he catches everything in his vicinity is pretty impressive.
Much like his dad.
Pretty impressive.
He's much bigger than his dad, though.
He is, but he runs like a deer.
Yeah.
But that was Ohio State without their starting running back and number 2 wide receiver.
Yeah, Luka didn't play.
But it didn't matter. I mean, their defense is really good. Their offense still isn't that impressive to me. I still don't think McCord's a amazing quarterback. But, hey, you got a lot of talent around you. And we'll see what he does this weekend against Penn State, who they killed UMass. Iowa-Wisconsin was probably the best game. Or the closest game. That was a low-scoring game. But
the best game was honestly probably Illinois at Maryland.
Oh, yeah. Yes. You're right.
But, I was switching back and forth between the Iowa, Wisconsin, and Oregon Washington game. And it looked like they were playing 2 different sports.
Oh, yeah. And those 2 teams are coming into the conference next year.
Yeah. Wisconsin loses Tanner Mordecai. He broke his hand.
Yeah.
He might be out for the season. So I think –
I don't know if Iowa's going to lose another game.
I was going to say, I think Iowa might have locked this stuff up with how bad. 18 points a game offensively, second worst in the Big Ten. But, man, that defense is ridiculous.
It's nasty.
They play such good complementary football to it will be interesting. Ferentz is not going to hit that 25-point.
No.
If they go 11-1.
They're not firing him.
You're going to have a hard time having him fired, although he probably should be fired. But
could you imagine if they made the Big Ten championship, somehow beat Penn State, Michigan, or Ohio State, and made the playoff?
They'd be in the playoff. Yeah,
they'd be the worst playoff team by far. Maybe worse than that Michigan State team that got in years ago.
They got destroyed.
Uh-huh.
Or that Washington team with Jake Browning.
Yep.
Yep.
But
Future.
that happened. Illinois with a good road win over Maryland.
Yeah.
I was just surprised me. I know Maryland was coming off a loss against Ohio State, but Illinois just hadn't been looking good. So I thought they were kind of dead in the water, and then they pulled that out.
That's the kind of team I think a lot of Illinois fans thought they were going to see. Ran the ball well, didn't hurt themselves with penalties like they had been, didn't turn the ball. They turned it over once, but they didn't turn the ball over, didn't do anything stupid, no stupid play calls, and they went in there and won. They found a way to get it done, which that significantly increases their bowl chances. Three wins, you get IU and Northwestern at home. You assume you're going to win those. Then you got to find one against Minnesota. Bad. It's on the road, though. Wisconsin, without their starting quarterback at home, maybe, which is pretty much a pick-em game now. I think Wisconsin was a 1-point favorite last time. So Iowa can't score, but you're probably not going to score against them. So,
that's a good point.
They have a chance to get to 6.
Yeah, good point. Around the nation, some headlines. Colorado absolutely imploded on themselves Friday night.
29-point lead.
I stopped watching after the first quarter because I'm like, Stanford is horrendous. Colorado's going to win by 80. And when I woke up the next morning to our group message, I was never so excited to get on Twitter in my life because there was a few accounts I had to go back and look at their tweets in order because I saw this one guy that works for a Denver radio station saying, I started the game. Oh, this might be the easiest win Colorado's had since they joined the Pac-12. Oh, it's fun to be on this side of this type of game. And then it was funny to start reading the tweets, start to get worried. And then he's like, I can't sleep after the loss and everything. And, it was just tremendous.
How do you sleep after a loss like that?
Oh, that was awful. And their schedule's not easy remaining. They might have a tough time making a bowl.
Their schedule is brutal. I'm bringing it up right now. They have 4 wins. They really needed that one to really solidify their chance to make a bowl. But they have, let's see if I can find it here. They have at UCLA in 2 weeks, number 15 Oregon State at home, Arizona at home, who's playing decent football, at Washington State, at Utah. I don't think they do it.
No. Yeah, it's too bad.
Notre Dame annihilated USC.
Yes, they did.
Pretty embarrassing performance by Caleb Williams.
Starting
the game off by throwing an interception. Looked like Caleb Turbush against Notre Dame a few years ago.
Sure did. Good win for Notre Dame. Very surprising how they did it. Were you bothered by the fact they rushed the field even though they were favorites?
That is kind of annoying.
Against a team that hasn't won at Notre Dame since 2011.
Yeah.
So it wasn't like, I guess I'm old man yell at clouds because it is college students, let them do what they want. But I remember when Notre Dame used to never rush field against anybody.
Yeah.
But times have changed.
Yeah.
Times have changed. Elsewhere around the country, Louisville, who was undefeated up to 14th. They did a Jeff Brom special after you upset somebody on primetime TV or upset somebody, period. You lay a stinker, but also was in bad weather. Jeff Brom teams, for whatever reason, don't win in the rain or the snow. And, Pittsburgh won by double digits there. Well, one-win Pittsburgh team.
I was going to say that's a bad Pittsburgh
team. Because, things were setting up for Louisville to walk into the ACC championship. Maybe not so much now. I can't think of what else happened around the country.
I think Texas was off, weren't they?
Yeah. Alabama scraped by against Arkansas.
Yeah, they're not. This is not typical Alabama team.
Tennessee beat A&M. I think A&M starting to maybe get that buyout money already.
That's a lot.
Which is Texas oil money, so it's nothing. They got such a rich boosters down there, but I don't know.
North Carolina waxed Mike Haynes.
Yep.
I think that's about it.
Yeah.
We got our covered.
Yep.
You did beat me Big Ten Pick'em this past week. I picked Purdue correctly for the first time.
And it was the Wisconsin-Iowa game.
Yeah, because we both had Maryland for 3, and then I had 2 on Wisconsin. You had 1 on Iowa.
Yep.
So,
Yep.
1. Game of the week. That's where game day is. It's the big nooner on Fox. Penn State at Ohio State.
Can't believe game day's going there because Big Ten games are on ESPN. And it's a noon game, but I am taking Penn State for 1.
You got to keep that.
I got to keep it going.
I'm taking Ohio State for 2. I assume McBuko will be back. I don't know about the running back Travion.
I think they'll both be back because he was quite. I was surprised. Well, of course, I was surprised when McBuko didn't make the trip because there was no even like reports about him all week. But Henderson was, I thought, going to play until Saturday morning. So
yeah. Rutgers at Indiana. Indiana has the worst scoring offense in the Big Ten,
awful.
17 points a game. They need to get some buyout money ready there too.
$20 million. Give me Rutgers for 3.
I have Rutgers for 3 as well. Why would you give Tom Allen such a huge buyout? That makes no sense.
They did it after 2020.
They were legitimately scared he was going to leave for an SEC.
Yes, they were.
Which I think, looking back, which at the time we were all like, why would they be worried about Tom Allen leaving?
Yeah.
Now it ends up being we were right and they were wrong. Wisconsin at Illinois without Tanner Mordecai.
I could see this game going either way, but I'm taking the Badgers for 2.
I have Wisconsin for 1. Illinois was down to their very talented running back. I watched the majority of that game. They were without their top 2 running backs, McCray and Love. Caden Fagan, who's a 4-star true freshman, he's going to be one of Bielema's typical guys, 6'3", 250 pounds, big bruiser, had a good game. It should be a pretty good game. If Illinois wants to make a bowl, it feels like they kind of need this one. But Wisconsin for 1. Minnesota at Iowa.
Florida Rosedale, I believe, is what they play for, the Pig Trophy. Give me the Hawkeyes for 4.
I have Iowa for 4 as well. Northwestern at Nebraska.
Nebraska coming off a bye. Give me the Cornhuskers for 5.
I have Nebraska for 5 as well. Michigan at Michigan State.
Yeah, played for the little Paul Bunyan Trophy or whatever. This game is the NBC primetime game just because of Michigan, not because of Michigan State. Give me Michigan for 6.
I have Michigan for 6 as well. I think this week will rest on the winner of Penn State, Ohio State, to see who wins pick 'em.
Yep, which is fair. It's the best game on the board. So,
top 25 matchups.
It's a pretty bad week for top 25.
Number 17, Tennessee at number 11, Alabama.
Yeah, give me Alabama at home. They're going to be ticked off from last year.
Yeah, give me Alabama at home. Man, this is a real bad week.
It's a bad week.
Number 16, Duke at number 4, Florida State.
Give me Florida State. Duke looked good against NC State, but give me Florida State at home.
Florida State's 14-point favorites, and I think they cover. Number 14, Utah at number 18, USC.
Oh, I want to take Utah, but I think USC bounces back.
Yeah, I agree. Give me USC. They are 7-point favorites. That's going to do it for top 25.
It's a bad week. But, it gives me time to go over the birdie or bogey question once again. The history of the NFL, who has the most 3 interception games? Who has thrown the most 3 interception games, I should say?
The only guy I can think of is Brett Favre, and that's the guy I'm going to choose.
You were going with Brett Favre, huh? Well, my friend, Brett Favre has thrown 39 regular season games with 3 or more interceptions, second all time.
2.
George Blanda threw 40.
Son of a gun. Oh, you jerk.
Namath was 4th with 32. Some guy with the last name Sneed was 3rd with 33. And all the other guys, it's all the old timers, like way back in the day when they didn't even throw the ball that much.
Better brush up on your cricket trivia for next week.
Hey, I'm 4 down. I needed something in my back pocket.
Thanks for watching the Tan and J-Man Show. We'll be back at her next Monday with another episode. Have a fantastic week, everybody. Get some $2 sportsbook wings from Public House tonight.